So the last album I did was New Burying Ground, and that was under the band name The Grace Machine. I love that album. I've got to say, I really, really enjoyed it. Got to play with Turl and Matt Weeks, and it was epic. But I just wanted to do something different this time. And what I wanted to do was just strip everything away. Strip almost all the instruments. I can't need one instrument. You don't want an a cappella album. But I thought I'd stick with one instrument and vocals. No crazy singing, no harmonies, no virtuoso solos or anything like that. Just play real simple songs and just see, do the songs actually hold up? I just wanted to strip it back and go back to basics as a songwriter rather than as a musician, as a producer, as all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to go back and go, here's me and my guitar, what happens? So this is what we're doing. So over the last couple of years, I've been doing my family tree. So I'm going to be doing lots of songs about my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Methuselah, and people like that, I don't know. But it just gives you a different perspective on, when you look at your family history, it gives you a bit of perspective on things, I think. And I'm hoping some of that comes through. Also in the last couple of years, obviously, you know, we've adopted 3 children, and we've started fostering in the last couple of years, which has been fantastic as well, and that's really been on my mind. And those are the kind of things that have been going through my head, really, when I've been writing these. And a lot of the time, it's just whatever comes out. So this first song is called Glimpse. Waiting on a day that'll never come. I'll think of you till my time is done. The fading memory of your face sparks again at your resting place. A glimpse of things that might have been, a distant memory I have seen. I know you'll never be alone. What about me as I walk on home, waiting on a day that'll never come? I wonder if you see me here, smile with joy or shed a tear. What do you make of what I've done? Are you proud of who I have become? The weight I bear is a heavy load, the bittersweet pain that I never show. The weak I feel, strong I appear. I'll keep the faith that you held so dear, waiting on a day that'll never come. I will dream amongst the stars, reach out a hand, but you seem so far. The crystal clear night turns into day, clarity obscured by haze. For many years have been and gone, you're still the reason for my song. And as I sing it starts to rain, I realize I will grow again. I know I'll never be alone, but think about me as I walk on home, waiting on a day that'll never come, waiting on a day that'll never come. Thank you. Did I press record? Yes. Oh dear. This next song, if you listen to the Open Hands fundraising night that we did a while back, you'll have heard this song. This is called Drawn by the Sea. And this is actually about one of my ancestors, a steady. A lot of the steadies and other ancestors from that kind of part of my family tree came from Essex, and they were fishermen. A hard life for sure. And I found this one guy, and his dad was a fisherman, his granddad was a fisherman, and his great-granddad was a fisherman. And I think, he must have looked at their lives and thought, preliminary, that looks like hard work, and he became a farmer. Now, when you're doing family history, you kind of see dates and census records and who lived when, but often you've got to colour in their lives yourself. So there's a lot of poetic license with all this, so forgive me, but this particular guy was a farmer, worked with the horses on a farm. And during World War I, he got called up and he had to, he served on a boat off Scotland, and unfortunately it was sunk by a U-boat and went down with all hands. So, a tragic story and, you know, a great sacrifice, but it just struck me as ironic, really, that it felt like he'd spent his life trying to stay away from the sea, and it kind of got him in the end. So, yes, I'm not well known for happy songs, so this is in the finest steady tradition. Ooh, we don't want the capo there. I don't know if you saw, I gave it an extra tug. I put it on this morning and it jumped over there, so it would have hit you, Marcus, I reckon. Drawn by the sea, I can't escape its cold. Drawn by the sea, the waves crash through my dreams. Drawn by the sword in my veins. My father and his fathers, they worked upon the sea. They laughed and cried and lived and died, captives to their freedom. I've seen my course, my destiny. I'll fight it while I can. Kick against the bricks of fate, lay roots down on the land. Drawn by the sea, I can't escape its cold. Drawn by the sea, the waves crash through my dreams. Drawn by the sword in my veins. But war changes everything, and all is stripped away. Wants and wishes, hopes and dreams, dashed upon the rocks, dashed upon the rocks. Drawn by the sea, I can't escape its cold. Drawn by the sea, the waves crash through my dreams. Drawn by the sword in my veins. Our end is inevitable. I'll face it like a man. I swam against the ocean's tide, and I'll go out on my feet. Drawn by the sea. I can't escape its cold, drawn by the sea. The waves crash through my dreams, drawn by the soul in my veins, drawn by the soul in my veins, drawn by the soul in my veins. I went to a Martin Joseph songwriting weekend a while back, which is great. I must admit, I'd already picked up most of the things he told me because I've been going to his gigs for years and studying them on, wow, how does he do this? He's such a good live performer. So I've picked up lots from him. But one of the things he said was, don't add to the noise. If you're going to write a song, make it mean something. There's so many songs out there, don't add to the noise. And he kind of exhorted us to write songs that actually had a meaning and would make a difference in someone's life if you can, and, you know, help uplift people, to bring them up, to make them feel better about themselves, to go out feeling they can change the world. And that's how I feel when I go to his gigs. And, you know, I've been looking for that magic ingredient for years, and that song obviously wasn't it. So there's nothing uplifting about that at all, was there? But I have tried on several other songs. This song is about, well, my third great-grandfather, I'm going to have to read some of this because I can't remember it, was James Steady. He and his wife Susanna had 12 children. Whoa, crumbs. One of them being Albert, born in 1859. They lived on a farm, they were dirt poor, they had no money, no education, they didn't go to school, they didn't go to church, they had no learning whatsoever. Albert, from the time he could walk, was working on the farm, from dawn till dusk. And one of the jobs he did was to carry things and be a kind of a porter, servant, for a well-to-do farmer on the other side of the village. And one day, when he was 9, he was called upon to carry stuff for his farmer's son when he went on a shooting excursion. Now, Albert was not a clever child at all. He had no schooling, no learning, and no experience. He couldn't keep up with the group, and he couldn't flush out the hens or whatever it is they wanted him to do. And in the end, the farmer's son got so exasperated with him that he turned around and beat him to a pulp with the butt of his gun, left him for dead. Oh, sorry, I'm cheering you up again, aren't I? Albert wasn't dead. He made a full recovery, but he was beaten very badly. It did go to court, but Albert, being 9 and unschooled, presented very badly. He didn't even know what a judge was when he went to court. Obviously, they couldn't really get anything out of him, and it was thrown out of court, even though everybody knew what had happened. So, sad tale. So this is all in all the newspapers. It's, 1859. I thought if I wrote a song about that, that's hardly uplifting, is it? So I thought about this for a long time, and I just felt that Albert may have had, he may not have been gifted in communication skills and social skills, but he may have had a real connection with the farm that he lived on and with the land that he worked on. And I thought perhaps he had a different perspective on life from his attacker. It's all good. Thank you. The morning was chill and the dew was fresh. A day of new starts and promises. I'm going to do this again, actually. Take 2. Let's get the recording right. The morning, I'm going to have a break, in fact. The morning was chill and the dew was fresh. A day of new starts and promises. Awake with a dawn as quiet as the mist. The land, it speaks to me in a voice that only I hear. Just leave me alone, just let me be. I can't keep up with you anyway. You're speaking too fast and moving too quick. I cannot hear your words. I can't give you what you need. You can beat me and strike me and lose my teeth. You can push me to the ground. I still won't know what you're looking for. I still won't make a sound. I still won't make a sound. I lie on my back and the sun comes up. My spirit soars with the wind. There's so much beauty in this world. I could not ask for more. I long to show you the view. You can beat me and strike me and lose my teeth. You can push me to the ground. I still won't know what you're looking for. I still won't make a sound. I still won't make a sound. The evening was cool and the slightest breeze awakened me from my reverie. My ribs are bruised and my eyes closed, but I start back down the hill. I will forgive you, yes I will. The twilight is chill and the moon is full. A time of new starts and promises. I sleep with the dusk as quiet as the stars. The night, it speaks to me in a voice that only I hear. You can beat me and strike me and lose my teeth. You can push me to the ground. I still won't know what you're looking for. I still won't make a sound. I still won't make a sound. I still don't know what you're looking for. I still won't make. This next song is actually a positive song. I wrote this song for Abby. Oh. And she's a deputy head. She works very hard. She works very hard at home. She works very hard at training, running various clubs and things like that, and never seems to sit still. And she's amazing. And I just kind of wrote this song to say, if you need to, just sit down and have a rest. And I wrote it, and I looked at it, and I thought, oh, I'm coming off quite well myself on here because I'm being ever so nice to her. This isn't really a song from me to you. It's a song from what I'd like me to be like to you, if that makes any sense. Maybe I'll be like it one day. Okay. Closer. Blow the world down, take the weight off your feet. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let your mind wander down paths you know well. Come a little closer to me. Won't you lean, won't you lean? Why don't you lean on me now? Won't you lean, won't you lean? Come a little closer to me. Tell me again just how it went down. If you need to, just get out and scream. I'll be here for you, ain't going no place, 'cause there's no place that I'd rather be. Won't you lean, won't you lean? Why don't you lean on me now? Won't you lean, won't you lean? Come a little closer to me. Light up the room with that smile on your face. Light up my heart with your truth. In good times and bad, you won't be alone. I will always be here for you. Won't you lean, won't you lean? Why don't you lean on me now? Won't you lean, won't you lean? Come a little closer to me. Won't you lean, won't you lean? Why don't you lean on me now? Won't you lean, won't you lean? Come a little closer to me. Close your ears a second. Oh, that wasn't too bad, was it? Could somebody pass me the tenor guitar, please? Andy, if you're watching, thank you for lending it to me.
Just restart it, so they're all stopped and restarted.
I've been spoiled. Andy lent me this guitar, and it's far too nice for me ever to be able to afford. So this may be my one and only song written on a tenor guitar. It sounds even better plugged in. So this song, we finished writing, this morning. So I wrote the first verse. I've had the first verse of this song rattling around my head for months and months, honestly. And I just couldn't finish it off. And in the end, I sent it to Lynn's and said, any thoughts? And at 2 o'clock the next morning, she sent me back the final product. So this will be the first time that I've ever performed it for anyone. And first time I've ever played a tenor guitar live as well. It's lovely, isn't it? So I may need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts at this one as well, if that's okay. But at least you'll all know it by the end. Have you ever looked down the wrong end of a telescope? Everything seems so clear, but 100 miles away down a dark, dark corridor, everything's changed, but you're disconnected. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. Everything feels like it's just out of reach. Time slows down like you're walking uphill. Everyone else at the speed of light. Move your head and the world lags behind. And now you know, now you know how it feels to be me. Sliding door turn or kaleidoscope change. Life can rise from ashes to flame. A silver lining but a breath away. Tomorrow becomes a brighter day. I'm holding on, holding on. Everything feels like it's just within reach. The hurricane wind feels more like a breeze. You have to let go when you hold on too tight, or the world tries to bring you down to your knees. Now you know, now you know how it feels to be me. Thank you, Linz, for providing the words I couldn't quite get out. You can have this back now. This next song I wrote for our, well, she was our youngest. At 3 years old. This is really funny, actually. When Linz and I did a live, we did a Teams thing, and I played all my songs, she played all of her songs, and we took it in turns. And she sang her song about her 3-year-old ninja, and it just so happened the very next song I had was this song. And this is about, who was our youngest at the time, 3 years old, and not sleeping very well, and she used to wake up and say, "I've had a bad dream," and you'd hear this. "I've had a bad dream." Oh, bless her, and half of you is just melting with pity, and the other half is just wanting her to go away. This is when you find out if you really are a kind of nice guy or not. And I found out that Abby was a much nicer guy than I was. So this song is not about me and our lit list. This is a song for Abby and our lit list. Sleep tight, baby, don't dream. Sleep tight, I'll be here when you wake. But baby, don't dream. Oh, baby, don't dream. Close your eyes and snuggle down. Close your eyes and dream. Oh, baby, don't dream. Baby, don't dream. Baby, don't wake up. Baby, don't get up. I don't want to hear you knocking on my door. Baby, don't wake up. Baby, don't get up. I don't want to hear those footsteps hiding across the floor. need your sleep, and so do I. So do I. Sleep tight. Oh, baby, don't dream. Sleep tight. I'll be here when you wake. But baby, don't dream. 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 We need a new trend. Honest lullabies. As you know, we adopt and foster, and it's a real privilege for us. And this song was written for my big lad. I don't know where he's gone.
He wasn't going to manage that.
Oh, bless him. Anyway, here it is. If I can remember how to play it. You're not my flesh and bone, but I'd bleed for you. You're not my blood, but you're mine. You were chosen, you were wanted from before the dawn of time. There's no mistake here. You're gonna be fine. Some of those doors were built to keep you out. Some of those walls to keep you in. Read between the silver linings. Keep working on the code. There's no mistake here. You're on the right road. Don't forget the past behind, where you come from as part of your song. Sing it when you're able to be a guiding light. There's no mistake here. You're winning the fight. Open hands, an open heart. Recognize the treasure and dare to belong. Sing of how these chains were broken and how you're dancing on. There's strength in weakness, and you are strong. You were chosen, you were wanted from before the dawn of time. There's no mistake here. You're gonna be fine. I'm proud of you. that's quite enough of that. Back to the 1800s, where I feel a bit more comfy. First of all, I do feel I need to make the point. Not all of my ancestors and family have terrible things happen to them. It's just that they're the only ones that are in the newspapers and have stories about them. If I wrote a song about a man and wife, they had 12 children, they were really happy, no one's going to listen to it. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. So, you know, you need some moments of tension, and unfortunately, yeah. So, apologies if I'm showing my family in a bad light. I'm not really. This song is called Ellsley's End. Again, I got some notes. Excuse my notes. My fourth great-grandfather, James Ellsley, was born in 1806 in Bramley. He was a farmer. He was 5'5". He had a sallow complexion, brown hair, whiskers and eyebrows, grey eyes, broad nose, medium mouth, medium chin. How do I know that? He's very well documented. He was married with 7 children. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of his story in his own words. I said, "How hard it is for us to be in such distress. We have neither butter nor cheese nor sugar, and whether we've even got tea I'm uncertain. For when we had our supper we had but a piece of bread with a little tea without sugar and milk, and I'd spent the last 2 pence we had. So we were destitute, and it hurt my feelings. So I said to my wife, I will go get a bird or two, poaching. And if I possibly can, for I can't bear to see us in such distress, I went and shot a brace of birds, and I thought if I could get a sale for them, it would get a little tea and sugar. I was coming to the river when I met the keeper, and he said, 'Damn you, I've got to get you now.' He then put up a stick and said, 'Damn your eyes, I'll kill you.' And he was going to strike me, but I pushed him and threw him down and said, 'We'll fight.' I struck him with the butt end of a gun several times. The last time he fell into the river. I then went away and left him. On going home, my wife said, 'Have you got anything?' I said, 'Yes.' She then replied, 'I hope nothing will happen from this.' I said, 'Something already has taken place.'" So, I'm not going to make a martyr of James. He was obviously a violent and impulsive man. But you can imagine the hardships of his life, and you can kind of perhaps understand a little bit of why he did what he did. James was arrested, and he confessed. He was tried for murder, but the jury decided it was manslaughter, and therefore the sentence was downgraded from hanging to life in Van Diemen's Land in Australia, deportation. The journey in 1844 was eventful. Dysentery, cholera, smallpox on the ship. The water went foul and there was very little food, and when they got there, it was worse. It was a brutal place, hard labour and terrible conditions. In 1846, 2 years after he arrived, there was an insurrection. The prisoners in the camp had proudly fashioned for themselves some rudimentary cutlery. This doesn't sound much, but in their minds this seemed to raise them from the level of animals back to human beings. When they were confiscated, the prisoners had had enough, and they rioted, taking over the camp. They knew full well they could not possibly win. There was nowhere to go, and the army came in and soon retook it with the most vindictive of consequences. But rightly or wrongly, these men stood up and said, "No more. We are not animals. We are human beings." James, what have you done? Risking your neck for sugar and tea. You killed a man, wearing your name in a life and death struggle for liberty. James, what do you do now? Your family still starves and your wife is alone. You're not to be hanged, they're taking it slow. To a chain gang in Tasmania you'll go. Van Diemen's Land for 30 months. Oh, you might as well be dead. How can you live with no glimpse of hope? Can you stand up, get up, keep working on, and the chains they chafe, but not half as sharp as the memories of what you left. Family and friends, alive or dead, and what would you give for the rain on your face? The green grass of home, and the green grass of home. James, what have you done? There's no choice left now but breaking the law. But you're gonna get what's coming to you, 'cause there's not much justice for the hungry and poor. James, what you do now? They'll take you from court and they'll send you below. You're not to be hanged, they're taking it slow. To a chain gang in Tasmania you'll go. Van Diemen's Land for 30 months. You might as well be dead. How can you live when there's no glimpse of hope? Can you stand up, get up, keep working on? And the chains they chafe, not half as sharp as the memories of what you left. Family and friends, alive or dead. And what would you give for the rain on your face in the green grass of hope? And the green grass of hope. James, what have you done? The warden is down and the camp's aflame. There's nowhere to hide and nowhere to run, but you stood up to be counted all the same. James, what you do now? Your rent's surely coming, but we'll never know. You're not to be hanged, they're taking it slow. To a chain gang in Tasmania you'll go. Last one. There's no encores, I'm afraid. Unless I mess this up, in which case this one will be the encore as well. This too has a story. I actually wrote this song well over a year ago. And there's a girl called Elizabeth, born in 1787. She was a worry to the vestry and was taken to the magistrate for ill behaving. The following year she was taken to prison at Manningtree. She had a baby out of wedlock, also called Elizabeth. They were both cared for in the local workhouse, and I'm sure conditions there would have been pretty tough. Elizabeth had a hard life. Found a newspaper article saying that she'd been assaulted and abused, which I think was a common happenstance in that situation. She also had a baby and lived in the workhouse. The baby was also called Elizabeth, and when she was 9, I'm sorry to say that she was also assaulted in a similar manner. A dreadful story, a cycle of poverty, no power, no choice, tough life. And I wrote a song about it called The Cycle, and it was really just a cry of anguish for these poor women. And it was heartfelt and it meant something to me, but I just listened back to it. It was just too miserable. I just couldn't. It just wasn't playable. It was a dirge. It was what I was feeling for them, but it was no good as a song. It wasn't going to uplift anybody. It wasn't going to change the world. It was just going to add to the noise. Now, going through the family tree, what I have discovered, which I think is absolutely brilliant, is that although a lot of my ancestors started off as farmhands, labourers, fishermen, working on the roads, dirt poor, some of them. But actually, as you go down through the generations, things get better. And you can see that in the records. Workmen become foremen, and education begins. My grandfather, the law changed and he had to stay in school till 16. Found he had a head for numbers, became an accountant. And suddenly, transformation begins. My dad took that one step further and has and is leading an incredibly varied life. And that deserves a story of its own at some point. And there's me, and there's Indigo, and a bunch of others. So the message for this song is that things can get better. Things do get better. Times can be tough, but there is a hope in the future. And it also goes without saying that some of the most influential people in our lives aren't our ancestors. They're the people around us. As adopters and fosterers, teachers, friends, we can all help to break that cycle. We're all the product of many generations of people, each one contributing to the amazing end result that is us. And I remember looking at this miserable song, thinking about these poor women and saying, there's absolutely no way that your story is going to end like this. And then I wrote the second half. Well, I was wondering why life has got to be so hard, fighting against the setbacks of another. Shortest song ever. I just realised I was really hoping I could get you guys to join in on the very last bit. This is the last song, and what I'd love to happen is there's a bit of a repeat of a chorus on the end. It's very, very simple. And if you guys, when I start singing it, it basically says, you're a miracle, breaking that cycle. And when we start singing that, just take it up. Start off fairly quiet, repeat it, get louder, louder. And what I want you to do, is anyone shy in the room? What I want you to do is I want you to get louder and louder. I want you to start stamping, clapping, shouting, cheering, anything you like. Just make an absolute racket. There's no people's home over there. Let's see if we can get some complaints tomorrow. Does that make sense to you? Okay? And what I'd like to do is, because this is getting on an album, it's going to be the last track on the album, and I would love it to end with just this whoop of people just going for it and fading out into the distance. Okay? Who's up for it? Are you up for it, David? Are you up for it? Yeah. Great. So we better have a practice, haven't we? You don't need to practice all the whooping and everything unless you really want to, but it goes. You're a miracle, breaking that circle. Here we go. You're a miracle, breaking that circle. Easy enough, eh? You're a miracle, breaking that circle. Oh, don't waste your energy. Don't puff yourself out. We're going to need that. Okay? Right, okay, here we go. So you've got something to look forward to, so you can get through the miserable bit now. Does that sound fair? Well, I was wondering why life has got to be so hard, fighting against the setbacks of another, watching the circle come round, shaped by the sins of my mother, and who my father would be, oh, I don't know. Gone like snow, driven by the wind, so I don't know where, and I don't care. Well, I was wondering how you felt knocked down on your back, fighting so helplessly, but you knew you could never give in and acquiesce without a protest, so you bleed anew. And when I suffered the same, I realized that it hurts you far more than me. While I'll be alright, you lost your fight. But there's absolutely no way that your story's gonna end like this. Oh, the good and the strong, the gentle and true, the loving, the caring, like a vine they grew. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, down through the generations, years culminated in you. Take that growth, extrapolate, trust in yourself, trust in your fate, in something bigger than you. And there's absolutely no way that your story's gonna end like this. You're a miracle, breaking that circle. 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 Yeah. You're a miracle, breaking that circle. And there's absolutely no way that your story's gonna end like this. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. And thank you so much for coming. You've no idea how much the songs feed off people listening. If Linz and I just stood here and we just played it and recorded it, it wouldn't sound anything like. It doesn't. You feed off people. The emotions in the room come back, and you're actually part of the music, part of the song, because it wouldn't sound like that without you at all. So thank you so much for being here, and it's been brilliant. I've got so many of my favourite people in one room. It's brilliant. And thank you so much for everyone on the live stream. Yeah, awesome. Hey, you got to clap. So hopefully we've got some decent video, some decent sound. We'll mix it all together. See what we've got, Linz. Hey, yeah. Thanks so much, Linz, for coming all the way from Loughborough. Your set was absolutely amazing, and I'm never having you back again. There is loads of food. There is loads of drinks. Please, there is no rush for you to get back whatsoever. We have got merch. We have a tip jar. If you've enjoyed this evening, everything is free. But if you want to put a tip in a tip jar, we'd be very appreciative, wouldn't we? Because looking at the price of petrol, Linz has got to fill up before she goes back to Loughborough. And that's going to be about £500 at the rate it's going. And £600 if she stays another hour. You know, I did have a load of T-shirts and hoodies, and I noticed that they were in 3 boxes and I could fit them in 1 box, so I did so. And then I put that box in a very safe place, and as a result, there are no T-shirts or hoodies. They are somewhere in this rambling, gigantic house somewhere, and I don't know where they are, but there are loads of CDs. They're all very varied, so come and talk to me and Linz, and tell me what you like, and we'll show you which one we think it will suit you. It's a bit like dating. It's like speed dating with albums, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We've even got cassettes. I was very excited about selling a cassette. That was so exciting. We've even got Visa. So this was a cassette on Visa. And
Yeah, with tip tap, tip tap, tip tap. So I mean, that just absolutely made my day. Two amazing little things there. I haven't got any vinyl either. One day. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we'll do something similar again. Go, eat, drink, make merry, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you.